Hi there, I'm Tracy Ann Burgess and welcome to the Change Channel. Today is episode number 5 and we're still talking about independence because it's so important. When you go through a really big life change, and it means then that lots of things are kind of undecided, lots of things can be topsy-turvy. If you've lost your business, lost your partner, lost your identity, lost something, or you've gained something and lots of things are changed, it's going to be up to you to decide which way you're going to change your life. So the way to go for me, when it happened to me, was to get really conscious, really aware about my choices and about what direction that I could go in. So that's why I think independence is so incredibly important. Not asking other people, looking for other people's opinions. So that brings us to when you start to make decisions about maybe a new career, a new partner, a new place to live, a new different things in your life, new attitudes, new beliefs to take on, you can get resistance from a couple of different areas. And the first area that you get resistance from is from other people in your life. Because change is uncomfortable, and because it's not particularly their change, maybe it's your change, you might be making them feel uncomfortable and they want to keep everything nice and safe and the same and, you know, keep the status quo. So you might be finding resistance from other people around you about how you're going to redirect your life. So I'm here to tell you that what other people's opinions are about you and your decisions about your life is really none of your business. Okay, that's their business. That's not your business. So you can just keep that at bay. We get to that in the future. We start talking about boundaries and things. But today we're still talking about independence. So part of the resistance is resistance from other people to your life change and to your decisions that you make after your life change. And the other area of resistance, which is more difficult to deal with, comes from within yourself. And you can find that you're really wanting to kind of sometimes grab hold of those things that you feel are familiar to you. And some of those things, though, may no longer be available to you. They may no longer be relevant to you either. And so as you're trying to steer your own personal ship into a direction that you really want to go in, you might find that there's all sorts of areas in resistance that come up. And some of those resistance comes from your own self-beliefs. Beliefs that you think about yourself, things that you think about yourself. You might be thinking, well, this is the new area that I want to go in, or this is a new career, or this is a new community, or this is a new whatever, practice, or a new country, or whatever you want to, wherever your change is leading you. And you might be thinking, well, here's a common one that I had to deal with is, oh, I might be too old for that. Well, sorry, but fuck that. I mean, really, if you're above the ground and your heart is still beating, do whatever you want. Give yourself permission to do whatever you want. That's all rubbish, okay? You've got to identify the bullshit when the bullshit comes up, okay? That is just bullshit. And then you might be sort of thinking, or I'm not brave enough, I'm not courageous enough, or, okay, I've never been creative enough, I've never been this, I've never been that. So I'll be starting to think, let's identify some of these voices. Are they coming from you, or have you taken them on from other people, or from parents, or from other people that you've respected, or something in your past? You don't have to spend too much time identifying it, you can just replace it. Okay, you don't have to go deep diving into, oh my God, where did this come down from, this from my childhood? I mean, you can if you like. But let's think about giving it a little bit of a lighter treatment so you don't go down the rabbit hole for too long into some of these areas. Sure, contemplate it, talk about it, think about it, journal on it if you like. Where did this stuff come from? But the most important thing is you're a conscious person. You can change those beliefs at any time. It's a choice, it's a decision, and then you give yourself permission to believe that, and then you just do it and you start acting upon it. Just take action on it, okay? Just change that belief. So you can write them down. Write down some of these new beliefs about yourself. It's very, very supportive. It's very uplifting. It's very empowering, and that's what this whole process of change is all about. That's why I start out with independence. I start out with independence because you this is your trip. This is your life. Okay? And you can make it as exciting, as expansive as you want. You can replace it and change it and create it at any time, right? This is the opportunity. This is one of the opportunities in change, okay? You're no longer, you're sort of like, okay, everything's up for renewal, you know, all my belief systems, everything's up for, while we're at it, while everything's changing around me, whether you helped create it or had nothing to do with you and it was just put upon you, or you're driving this thing, you are in the middle of it. So get in the driver's seat of it and make it an exciting event, right? And make it really work for you. So I think something to think about now would be, some of your journaling ideas would be, let's start replacing some of these beliefs. Let's identify some resistance that you might have to change at the moment. Just write them down, let it flow, just let it brainstorm, blah, blah, blah. Don't have to think about it. No one's going to be checking your spelling or your grammar or anything else. It's your private journal. And write them down and just see what comes up. Just write for about half an hour, 20 minutes. If you can't do that, do 10. Hey, do 5 if it's pushing you too hard. Might be pushing your buttons, might be rattling your cage. Do whatever you can, but just let it flow, let it out. And you can identify some of these things, where they've come from, and then you just go, you know what, this shit is just not relevant to me anymore. I don't have to live within the confines of that belief system about me. I have the power to change it at any time. That shit is really exciting. You know, you can embrace whatever you want. And so write them down, bring out, say, 3 of them. If you can identify resistance, even if it's just one, whatever feels right to you, and then write the opposite of that and journal on that and write it out 10 times. Say it every morning, say it every night. So and put it in the present time, in the present moment. I am this. So you could be thinking, okay, let's for instance say, I'm too shy. I'm too shy to do this new thing. Say you've got an opportunity to travel after a big change, and you say you're too shy, you're not experienced at it, you're too nervous, there's terrorism, there's whatever you want, I'm afraid of flying, or whatever your resistance is, call the bullshit out on it. Because if that is going to get you to your new wonderful life that you really, really want, you really, really deserve, and you know is waiting there for you, moving through that resistance and be consciously moving through that resistance is really important, really empowering. So start writing down, so you're afraid of flying, for instance. And then you just write down, I love flying because I love what it's going to bring me. I love that it's going to bring me a new life. I love that it's going to feel empowering. I love that it's doing whatever. You're going to meet someone fabulous next to you. Just start talking about what is at the end of the resistance. That's going to be the pull for you. So it's the new direction. It's the new gift at the end of it. It's a new belief. It's a new job. It's a new partner. It's a new whatever that new thing is. That's what you're wanting to get to. The resistance is in here. So you just choose to slice through it, right? With new beliefs about yourself. Just write out, I am powerful. I am strong. I am in charge. I'm in charge of my life. You know, I have the courage to do it. I am courageous. I am powerful. I am self-determined. And see what you can come up with. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been really terrific. I'm looking forward to day number 6, which will be tomorrow. And I think we'll move through independence a little bit more, and I'll be introducing a new card. Let me introduce you to the very first of my cards today, which is why I've been talking about independence. And I'm going to be very kind of analog here, not very digital. I'm just going to hold her up. This is Lone Rider. This is why I just talk about cards, and I might refer to about my cards. So I've decided that there are 14 different phases that can take you through to change. That's why we talk about cards, and my very first card is independence. I'll talk a little bit more about her tomorrow. I actually have a free course on my website all about and using my first 3 cards. that's got videos of me, and it's got practices and different things for you to do. So you can always hop on there, tracyannburgess.com, and do that little course. Doesn't interfere with what we're talking about today. It'll all make sense to you. So thanks so much for joining me, and remember, change is opportunity. Grab it with both hands. Bye for now.